everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The hatred runs deep between these teams, and no position feels the pressure of a rivalry game more than quarterback. Can this fella look past the emotion of the game and deliver a victory for his team? It's the Broncos going up against the Chargers. Now for the call of this Week 7 matchup, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, we are a little less than 10 miles inland from the blue waters of the Pacific Ocean as we greet you from lovely San Diego, California. Tonight, we close out Week 7 with a good Monday night matchup between the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together.
First carry of the ball game now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Second down, 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
He finds Roberts, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup, and it's a first down for the Broncos.
Really good, solid run right there, and they did it from a 4 wide receiver set. And if you're an offensive coordinator, they used to tell people, hey, we're going to throw the football. Now they use 4 receivers on the field to spread things out, give them more running lanes and more options, and also it usually takes the bigger defenders off the field, makes the defense lighter and easier to run against.
On second down, Anderson, and he'll go down at the 28. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Flushed out right to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Let's go!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. So the Broncos coming out now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
C.J. Anderson, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard, and brought down there by a pair of Chargers on the stop.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they? I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll run for it with Anderson. And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Demaryius Thomas with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
So holding by the offense and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
They go play action here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. It's caught at the 10. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They'll look to throw here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Emmanuel Sanders, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos have broken the tie. As a former... The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field, and they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll drop the throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So this is the 2nd consecutive week, as you look at the numbers, that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Roberts with it over the middle. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold. Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
His pass caught at the 4. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Martellus Bennett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Back to throw here. That's complete right around the 8. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. So now it's 1st and goal. They'll run Anderson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
His pass caught at the 4. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And as the numbers show, last week good, this week not as good. My question to you, you ready?
Yes, please hit me.
Why?
Because last week, he was able to find the seams in defenses, and the ball was delivered before a second guy could get there and make a play on it. This week, those seams...
Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he? And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And we're back now in Mission Valley and San Diego. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Connects it to Roberts, right side. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, it's obvious to me that the big guy is beyond locked in. We saw last week a scintillating performance. We're seeing it again. I think he and his coordinator are in lockstep right now.
Sometimes a tip of the cap to the guys calling the plays here, yeah?
Not just calling the plays, setting the game plan, sitting with him during the week, watching tape as they formulate it. You know, the best ones, they listen to their guy and say, okay, what do you like this week? You like this play? You don't like that play? And that helps them formulate what they're going to do. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there. In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here we go now. Blue,
Back to throw again. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Martellus Bennett with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd time.
And Denver getting set to take the field. In the backfield is Anderson. And they'll give it to him here. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Escaping the pressure right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to bring it up 5. Denver getting set to take the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to let this, and this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take... Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. That's caught by Roberts. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. They'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The new acquisition, Martellus Bennett, the intended target. And now it's third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
He finds Roberts complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jude I.J. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Chargers, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Denver, they dropped just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Chargers are winners here as we say so long from Southern